Boy called 911 on his own parents, then the cop opened the door and his blood froze. Parents always devote their time, money, resources and energy to ensure that their children have the best of life that they possibly can. Love from parents is one of the most pure and unconditional love on earth, but contrary to the widely known concept, incidents regarding child maltreatment from parents are no longer rare, and that is what happens between this boy and his parents. The following encounter between a cop and an 8-year-old boy will leave you stunned. Officer Jody Thompson resides with his family in a small town called Poteau in Oklahoma. Thompson is working with the Department of Violence in close relationship. He was formerly a member of the armed forces and has served as a sheriff for more than 16 years. Throughout his entire life, Thompson has come across heartbreaking cases, and he has seen the worst cases of maltreatment of all kinds. But this particular incident he comes across is like no other. It all begins when Thompson received a call reporting a domestic maltreatment and possible attempts to murder a child by his parents. The call was frightening and extremely anxious. Though Thompson is used to receiving such calls, this very call he received is much worse than the case he has been receiving. After he dropped the call, he immediately drove to the house. While driving, he prepares himself like he normally does to face a possible dreadful situation ahead. Little did he know that no amount of training or experience can prepare him for the frightening situation he is about to see. After knocking twice at the front door, Thompson broke the door and entered the apartment. Several things were on the dirty floor, falling dining chairs surrounding the dining table. Going further, Thompson immediately spots a rope cover with mud. The rope had been tied to something, so Thompson followed the rope. The rope led him to where his footsteps automatically came to a halt. Tom stood frozen and shocked. His eyes wide open as his mind took a second to absorb what his eyes had seen. Ahead of him is an 8-year-old boy who is ready to drown in a normal garbage bin filled with water. He was repeatedly striving to come up for fresh air but continued to sink. He was tied mercilessly from the ankles and wrist. His mouth was covered too. Before Thompson knew it, his feet rushed him to the rescue of the boy. Thompson quickly pulled the child out, making him lie on the floor to untie him. Immediately Tom removed the tape from the boy's mouth. The boy began to shout, "Help! Help! They'll kill me. They will murder me." Thompson assured the boy that he's there to save him. Carrying the 8-year-old boy to the ambulance that has arrived, Thompson could feel the frightened soul of the boy. He also knew that the incident would have an impact on his life. Later, Thompson was informed that the boy's name is John and that his parents are nowhere to be found. Thompson waited at the emergency room waiting for John to wake up. He couldn't stop thinking of the wounds on the boy's body. It was quiet evidence that John is a victim of domestic violence and mistreatment for a very long time. The doctor told Thompson that John has not been eaten properly for a very long time, as his bones are visible from his thinning skin. Thompson stayed by the boy's side throughout the day, and when the boy woke up, Thompson told him, "No one can harm you again. I've got you and I am here to protect you." After some days, Thompson and his wife decided to adopt the 8-year-old John, as they realized that John is too precious to be dealing with any more physical or mentally abuse. When Thompson and his wife heard about John's biological younger sister, they adopted her too and showed the young baby girl love. Now John is doing great mentally and physically. When Thompson was interviewed on this, he said, "I never did any of this for appreciation from others. Since I saw John, I knew I was looking at my future son. There was something about him. Lesson? There are thousands of young people out there like John that experience domestic violence from their own parents or neighbors. Don't hesitate to render your loving help to them. It is high time we put an end to all maltreatment. All forms of abuse, including child abuse, elder abuse, animal abuse, wife abuse, need to stop. So if you come across any such situation, please call the police immediately. Not only that you will be saving the person's life or doing your citizen duty alone, but you are also making the heart of your Heavenly Father rejoice."